Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, this is the best time you've ever showed up for a broadcast. This YouTube video is going to rock your world. Our great friend, Ronnie McMullen from GetTheT.com is here. And wow, dude, we got to get some de-stressing going on because it's getting crazy out there, Ronnie. It's getting crazy. How you doing, Ronnie?
I'm doing good. How are you and your watchers?
They're doing good. But they're freaking out. I mean, there's every time we turn around, there's another missile flying, and
at least an imaginary one.
Yeah, that's what's happening. As a matter of fact, just breaking news for those of you that are watching, but another false alarm. This one was broadcasted across Japan that a missile was on its way from North Korea, completely freaking out the people of Japan, and the stress levels are getting very high. And then the Pope is flying in the air last night, Ronnie, saying that we're just one step away from nuclear war. What's going on really, Ronnie, with all this Hawaii, Japan, and the anxiety?
Well, I think they and them, and again, this is just my own little opinion, but I think they and them are very busy, working on havoc, working on chaos. You remember the Get Smart? It was always chaos and control. I always thought that was funny.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And control. And it was control were the good guys, which they really weren't, and chaos was the bad guys. So anyway, so chaos is very busy, and of course we still got to try to throw the president out on the Russia allegations, which are absolutely false.
Oh.
And they're not going to give that up. And it's funny. I love this. You go to CNN News, and it says President Trump is basically mentally ill and he can't handle his job duties. You go to Fox, he's already seen doctors, he's straight up, everything's good, everything's running, and it's like you kind of go, and I think I like Mark Levin, he made a comment and he said, is there anybody that's really a journalist over at CNN? And the answer is no.
No. And you're talking about the president's health, as you said, they got psychiatrists and psychologists that are out there trying to psychoanalyze the president without ever meeting him. I mean, that's just unethical. That's just illegal. So now there's a press conference today, and the president's weight is down. His cholesterol's down. He's in excellent health. He's been eating a healthy diet, been exercising. Still needs to lose about 15 more pounds. But so it's on. Who do you believe? CNN?
Well, and I just think it's kind of interesting. The doctors are not checking out anybody that was pushing the buttons to threaten Hawaii or pushing the buttons to threaten Japan. Nobody. Well, we don't go and have doctors, look at those guys. But we're going to have our president, which is trying to turn the economy around, because if he does not turn the economy around, it is going to dive like a big dog. It'll be this year. So he's working hard. The only disappointment I have is, yes, they passed the tax bill. Very excited about that. They should have made it retroactive.
Amen.
They really want to put power into it, make it retroactive, and they did not, which means we could have a shaky year.
Yeah, if they would have made it retroactive, then when everybody went to fill out their taxes this spring, it would have been a slam dunk, and this thing would have been crazy. The economy would it's going to be good. I mean, this is great. They did it, and I'm very happy that I'm like you. I'm very, very, very happy they did it. But boy, if they'd have made it retroactive, it would have been a grand slam.
And I think it's, the news is fun right now because it is like Disneyland. Lots of flying colors, lots of moving parts. It's really kind of, you better not put weight into what is said because it all is illusion. Now, even to the point I thought it was funny, and we talked about this off air, Oprah Winfrey. Everybody loves Oprah, even though she is very racist. Oprah Winfrey, okay? And she last week says, I'm going to run for president, and everybody, all the women are like, yay, and, everybody's, yay. And what happens the very next week? An act of God, I guess.
2 days later. 2 days later, Ronnie.
2 days later, okay? So 2 days later, floods her home at Montecito with mud. And here's my favorite part. She's doing this interview with Ellen DeGeneres, and they're talking back and forth, poor me, poor me. And she's saying how this is a tight-knit community, and they're close with each other, and they know everybody. But she couldn't mention her neighbor's name. She goes, look at my neighbor. Their house is gone. And Oprah Winfrey's house is not gone. It just has mud in the yard. My neighbors, but it was my neighbors It was my neighbor's house. It was never Mr. Smith, Dr. Jones, nothing. So this whole tight-knit, I'm buddies is a bunch of bushwacky.
Folks, Ronnie McMullen's here, getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. Great friend of ours and supporter of our ministry. And he's exactly right, folks. The anxiety has been off the charts with the fake alarm of Hawaii that lasted 38 minutes. And they're trying to tell us, Ronnie, that it was during a shift change. A guy bumped the wrong button. I mean, there's 5 protocols. There's 5 false, safe protocols. There's no, what are they trying to do? They're trying to dummy us down and believe this?
Well, I think that's a funny thing, too. Again, more comics, more illusion. It's kind of like, I bumped the button, and so you bumped it twice, did you? Well, I had a hard time getting out. Dang it! It was really tough for me to get out, and my elbow just kind of bumped it right there. See how I could just bump that right there? So you could probably do it yourself. You just look a bump it right there. So I did it twice, and I'm very sorry about it. My bologna sandwich, I could not get to it, and I tried real hard, and I bumped the button.
I mean, it's just unreal. And for 38 minutes, you have 1 million people. And from what I understand, Ronnie, there were heart attacks, there were panic attacks.
Oh,
the ERs were filled with people. People threw their kids in the car and drove down canyons, running through red lights, wrecking cars. I mean, this was really insane. And I believe it was totally orchestrated by the deep state. To create all this fear and panic. And then they turned it on Trump. Somehow they turned this, it's Trump's fault. And the Pope is now flying through the air last night saying, we're just one step away from nuclear war. And then it happens again today in Japan. Ronnie!
Oh, and it's coming. They're going to do the same thing for probably California. And they're going to say, oh, sorry, I bumped the button again. And that doggone bologna sandwich I'm going to have to put it in a different place because I keep bumping the button. You wonder how stupid do they think we are with these excuses that they make of these major, we're not talking about minor, major mistakes.
Right. Let's talk about this for a minute here, about this act of God with Oprah, because I think if there was ever a time you can really watch some of the prophetic things that happen when someone's everybody's gushy about someone running for president, all of a sudden the hand of God moves and it affects them. This should send a clear message that that's not a good move. And do you feel that? What do you think is going to happen in this country? Are they going to is this the superstar they're going to try to bring on, or go back and dust off Joe Biden?
No, Joe's done. Okay. I think for sure Oprah's going to run. And here's a sad point, and I know nobody's going to want to hear this, but unfortunately this is probably a truth. Oprah will win because the women alone are going to landslide this. And there's a lot of guys that like her. And they say because she's really giving. They have no idea that, number one, she's a racist. I watched her cry when Obama won. Okay, and Obama was our worst president, not because of his color, not because of his race, none of that, but because he was for they and them. He was not for the people. He was not, as we would say, he was not a good king.
Right.
So what we have here is Oprah. She will change her colors in office. It will be Jekyll and Hyde. And I don't want to be there for that, and I hope it's not true. Trump is changing things. It's hard to go against a bazillion people. But, right. Anything that goes on, if your car doesn't start tomorrow, you have to blame it on Trump. I mean, that's how it is. He gets blamed for everything. And I understand he's done some wrongs. Right. But on the same token, not everything is his fault.
No. I mean, come on. Ronnie, so there is a lot of stress. Let's face it. What would you suggest? I mean, the people of Hawaii, what they just went through last Saturday, is there some ways that you can help them de-stress? I mean, certainly prayer. I could say pray, put your faith in God, do not trust the system. But also, isn't some nourishment, some things they can eat or take that can help them?
I wish I could say that I had a product for stress that, obviously the tea is going to be good for getting rid of toxins and that kind of stuff. But I wish I could really say, I have a certain pill, and if you're stressed out of your mind and your blood pressure is 9,000, this is going to work for you. I wish I had that, but I don't. Really this is free. What you really need to do is cleanse your mind. There was a great spiritual movie, and it said, take out the trash. Okay? The fact that we're going to be bombed is trash. Yeah. The fact our president was colluding with Russia is trash. This is all trash. So we just have to take the trash out, which is just sit. I would say, dude, sit in by the ocean, by the lake, by some trees, in a park, someplace, and take out the trash and just say, you know what? What if, let's just go to the worst case scenario. What if a nuclear bomb, and we're sitting in, let's say we're in Montecito, and the nuclear bomb comes and blows us up. Aren't we just going to go and connect with our maker anyway? And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Right. So that's the worst case scenario. And more than 99.9%, they're lying to you and just getting you stressed out so you have your own natural heart attack. So I think just we gotta literally de-stress, and that's done with the mind.
We got a lot of folks that are live with us right now online, and if you have a health question, that's something you'd like to ask Ronnie, just go ahead and put it in the chat room there, and we'll ask him.
I love you guys, man. I love you guys. Let's do it.
All right. Take out the trash. All right. Stop the stinking thinking. Stop the stinking thinking. All right. Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
But, it is. It's almost comical to watch the cable news. It's unbelievable. You flip the channel, and I'm watching people who are supposed to be professional journalists, and I can't believe what's coming out of their mouth. They got so upset about a supposed word the president supposedly said, although he's denied, and 25 people in that room have all denied he said it. Yet after they tried to make it that he said it, the guys on CNN are saying it 175 times in one evening. There's no standards. They don't have a standard. They want us to have a standard, but they don't have one.
Can you imagine that you're the button pusher for Hawaii that got them all riled up, okay? And people died, people had problems, whatever. Can you imagine when you die, you go meet your maker, and God says, I need to show you a little video clip of something you did. And he shows you the button pushing, and he shows you the havoc that you caused. Can you imagine looking at that and saying, instead of like here on earth, you do something wrong. If Oprah does something wrong, it's okay. If Barack Obama does something wrong, it's okay. But where you're actually going to have an accountability, and not where, and can you imagine God saying, you know what, I'm going to forgive you for this because it has to be that way. It's that bad. But I'm just going to forgive you for this. Right. Because that's that bad. There's not enough worldly stuff to cover what you did. So it's going to have to be my grace and mercy. Can you imagine?
Unbelievable. And that's why we're saved by grace. And we're going to have God's grace and mercy. And we better have it. Because I think we're all going to be in trouble if we didn't have that. Amen. Yeah. Hey, we've got a question out here. Here's one. Ronald Shorey says, what about marijuana or CBD oil? What is your opinion for their health?
Okay. Marijuana gets you high, period. Okay. I personally do not like being high. I do not like having a psychoactive drug. It is a drug. I do not like that. CBD, on the other hand, I can't say enough good about CBD because it's non-psychoactive. It comes from the male plant, not the female plant. And basically, it's very good for you, and it does incredible things for your body, so much pharmaceutical companies are going after it, and they don't like you talking about it. They don't like, because it's that good and it's that. I'd use the H word, but I can't use the H word. But yeah, so I would say CBD is a wonderful product. Just make sure you're getting CBD and not hemp oil, because hemp oil is like salad oil that you buy at the grocery store, and it's like $10 a bottle. And so make sure you're buying the real stuff.
Great answer. I hope he answered your question correctly for you. I know he answered it correctly, but I hope you understand it. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, here's another question here. Weight loss. Ronnie, trouble with weight loss.
Okay, weight loss. Weight loss is a big one, okay? weight loss is not about going out and exercising 30 minutes a day, because that's going to wipe you out. You're not used to it anyway. Weight loss is, there's some things like Gymnema is a great product I have, and it's helps you with your appetite. So it's what do you call it? Appetite suppressant. So that will help you. Don't take tons of it because it will lower your blood sugar. So be careful with when using it. Fat burners is another thing, but that's really more about taking fat around your liver and getting rid of that. So that's a great thing. And then the biggest thing, if you're going to try to get a little help from above here, is the tea. It actually works in weight loss, and you will lose some of the worst weight you can lose, which is the stuff in your colon. That, fat on you is better to have than stuff in your colon. So that will get rid of anything in your colon. And believe it or not, some people carry 20, 30 pounds of yuck. And so depending on your weight, you could lose 20 or 30 pounds over maybe a 3 to 6 month period. So the tea is really a smart thing. But I would say if you're going to go get something else, you might want to get the Gymnema.
All right, folks, there you go. GetTheT.com. And the other product he just said, what did you say the second one was?
Fat burners, Gymnema, and the tea.
All right. All of which are at his website at GetTheT.com. That's www.GetTheT.com. Now, I can tell you, Sister Heidi and I personally, we drink the tea religiously, so much so that I'm out of tea. We drink it so much.
That's why he was checking it.
Yeah, I was checking. So make sure he's got my address.
You have my address here?
Ronnie, do you have my address? We're out of tea. But seriously, folks, it not just cleansing the colon but the de-stress. I'm going to be honest. No toxins. If you're toxin free, it seems like you're stress free, or at least feel that way.
Well, let's talk about flu. Because they're going around. Okay,
the flu.
It's not just one state or two states. It's 50 states and then above. So let's go about flu. If you're getting flu, cold flu, all that stuff, does anybody like being sick? Because I surely don't. If you were taking, I'm just going to put it this way. If you were taking the Allison Advanced, one a day, like clockwork, just took one a day. I'll just put it this way. I take one a day, and I haven't been sick. And I've been around people with flus. I've been around people with colds. And my immunity is saying, hey, you're good to go. So if you have the flu and a cold and you go, okay, I'm going to take the Allison, I'll get well, you still have to run your course. But if you are good now and you start taking the Allison, you will probably not get the flu or a cold.
Wow. I mean, think about this, folks. And this is the worst epidemic outbreak of the flu since 1918, and the killer flu that killed 50 million people. Yet more people have had a vaccination flu shot this year than ever before in America, and yet it's the worst flu in 100 years. Ronnie, what's going on? Are people getting sick from the shot?
That would be what I'd say. Yeah, I'm not a vaccine guy. It's like, hey, we have a stoplight not working. You better get a vaccine for that. And you're like, really? Because the stoplight's not working? You want me to get a vaccine? Yeah, it's a really good place. In fact, we got a little corner right around the corner, and you just right there and get a needle in you. Boom, there it is. It's good. We don't even wipe the needles off. We just make it happen. So yeah, I'm being facetious, but long and the short of it is, vaccines are very scary. You want to do that? You are more of a man than I, because I would definitely not line up for a vaccine. That would be the last place I would be. They've proven a lot of stuff. You need to look it up on the internet, and you'll find out about vaccines. It's little dirty secrets.
Somebody just typed in the chat room, I'm going to get some tea right now, and that's great. Yay. Also, Dylan is saying, what is sour sop? I have cancer.
Don't know what sour sop is, and you have cancer. Okay. I'm sorry you have cancer. Let me help you as little as I can, or as most I can. Cancer loves to live and breathe in a non-oxygenated area. So you're probably feeling pretty terrible because you have cancer. I've had it before. You want to basically oxygenate yourself. So if you are too weak to exercise and get oxygenation that way, then breathe. Deep breathing, okay? 40 times, okay? Inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. As high and much air as you can. And do that 40 times. And then on the 41st time, hold it for 30 seconds. hold your breath as close to 30 seconds as you can, and let go. And that's going to help you get oxygen. That's going to help. And you want to also work on your alkalinity. You want to make sure, put lemons in your water. And that's a natural way to put alkalinity in your body. That's where you make the environment for cancer really atrocious, and cancer doesn't want to live in you anymore. And then, of course, there are things that really help you. I would tell you, I tell you what to take from me, but I can't tell you. But I do like, for myself, I like to take Allison Advanced. It's really a great product. Wink, wink.
Yes, Allison Advanced. It's right there at his website. Brock's putting that up on the screen for us. It is found at getthetea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. And it will, no question about this. In other words, our blood needs oxygen. This is why athletes, when they run around, they put that on there, get them oxygen. So the more oxygen, you're saying, the more water we drink and the more oxygen we get?
More oxygen, being alkaline. Get away from fried foods. We can go on. Your diet is very important. You want to be very much raw vegetable. And here's the bad thing. If you're way, way bad with cancer, it's a hard battle. I'll just put it that way. But if you're just entering into the zone, there's things you can change in your diet, your water, your air, everything like that. Make sure your water's purified, very important. And these are all things that will help you.
Someone just asked a question. If I do start drinking getthetea.com, do I need to stay close to home for a while? The answer is yes, but really after about a week or so, you get adjusted. It's
even
just
3 days. Even 3 days. And the other thing too is you can always, like, let's say you got to go somewhere and do something, just don't drink a lot that day. That way you're not. But usually the first 3 to 7 days can be tough because you've never done it before. Once you're on it, and this is kind of like an everyday thing, you should be on it every month. Once you're on it, you're good to go. You don't have the bathroom stuff. I mean, yes, you have the bathroom stuff, but it's a normality. It's not, oh my gosh, where's the bathroom? It's not like that.
No, it's just you get in a nice rhythm and you're just more healthier and you feel better and you don't have that bloated feeling, okay? And you're not going to float away like a balloon. It's just really good.
Exactly. That's it.
What else, Ronnie? I mean, you've got some specials going on too, don't you? Don't you have like a love pack? What's this love pack?
What's the what?
Is it like the love pack? What do you got going there?
Oh yeah, I've got some of those. Let me go here, because here's the deal. Sometimes I forget my own specials, and that's really terrible. So
I'm sorry. I should have.
So the special for this is Internal Love. Okay,
that's it.
And that's got our Coral Sea, it's got our GI Joy, it's got our Essential Bees, and a pomegranate tea, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, the big 3 is something I really, really love, which is the colostrum for your tummy, the tea for your detox, and the Allison Advanced that I've been telling you about, saying this is what you got to do. So those, and then if those specials don't work for you, we got other ones when you just go onto the liner up there and put specials, punch in specials, and a whole bunch will come up, a whole page full, because I like to save people money. I've got some neat things. Be keeping an eye on our website. I've got some great things for diabetics that are coming around the corner, so I can help you with your blood sugars naturally, and I'm very excited about that because so many people have diabetes and blood pressure. Again, you'd be good to go on that, or the big 3, because if you have blood pressure issues, the Allison's a beautiful thing.
Ronnie, what about building up our immune system? What is it you recommend that you may have as far as a supplement?
The building up the immune is the colostrum, is also the Allison Advanced. Actually, many of the products, the bilberry, the olive leaf, the pine bark, all of this is all about immune system. The GI Joy, it's got acidophilus in it. So again, immune system. So you build that immune system. I think the number 1 immune system for me is the colostrum and the Allison Advanced. You take those 2, I'm telling you, you're going to have to be in a pool of sickness to even think about being sick. It's that good. Everybody's saying this is the worst year of flus, the worst year of colds. I don't have the sniffles. I'm good to go. And a lot of my hosts who are faithful in taking my product, they don't have problems either. So that's a beauty thing.
We feel like champions right now. Feel just like champion. All right.
Absolutely.
It's stay away from the flu shot. I'll say it. And and get the tea.com and get your Allison and colostrum and you're ready. All right. You're good.
Well, it's like, the Christians talk about Satanism, vaccinism.
I mean, are you serious? He just what a leap that was. From Satanism to vaccinism. Oh man, the isms are coming out today, folks. Ronnie McMullen from GetTheT.com, great guy and a supporter of our ministry. And I tell you what, and he wants people, you know what, look, prayer, remember Hulk Hogan? I mean, he was right about a couple things, and that was eat your vitamins, take your supplements, pray daily. I mean, in a way, it's just good, clean living, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. It's important. The spiritual side, and I've said this too, okay, there's a spiritual side to everything. So when you take a supplement, and if your mind and your spiritual aspect is going, this probably won't do anything for me, it's probably going to be not so good, that kind of stuff is going to keep you down. But if you say, you know what, I wonder if God kind of connected this whole idea putting together, and this product's really going to help me with XYZ. So you're putting your mind power in it, your spiritual power in it, your God power in it, and you're putting the supplement of the actual world into it, and it can be a home run. So I'm a very spiritual person, and you also need help from the world. And our plants, how spiritual are plants and trees? And that's what this stuff's made of, so it's awesome. God's
creation, folks. Someone just asked the question, Pastor, what's up with Japan? People are kind of freaking out. Give me 1 second. I'll just check this for you all. Japanese broadcaster issued a false North Korea ballistic missile alarm, urging people to take shelter just 3 days. This happened today, not long ago, about 3 hours ago, 3 days after what happened in Hawaii. This has got to be, Ronnie, this has got to be deep state organized, isn't it?
Absolutely, because they want us scared, they want fear. Remember, guys, listen, if you have fear, you got cortisol. You got cortisol, you got physical problems. And they want physical problems because, again, somehow they made a tax cut. That's cool, but they missed the cash cow, which is the health care bill. Kind of slid right past that one. Yep. So what they're saying, think about what they're really saying here. We'd rather give you a tax cut than to give you a deal on your health care. That's what they said.
Yeah, that is what happened. They had a supermajority. The president wanted them to fix the, he wanted this health care dealt with, but the Congress, there's no question, both sides of the aisle, there was the establishment guys, they just would not give this one up, but they did get the tax cut done. They could have done that retroactive, would have been a grand slam home run, but at least we did get the tax cut. But still, we got to deal with health care. It's out of control, and there's no question. It's got to be dealt with, but I'm not so sure Republicans are going to be able to keep their majority. I'm not so sure they're going to be able to. And if they don't, then I don't think nothing else will really happen.
Well, I think it's interesting. If we look at what the tax cut and we say, okay, well, we saved some dollars, that's good. But what good is saving some money if you're dead or sick?
Thank you.
And that's this goes back to, our chemtrails and the geoengineering that's going on, which we call climate change. We have about 1,000 names for it. But nobody goes after that. Okay, and yet all the viruses are being dropped in this stuff, and we're getting sicker than dogs. So they're really testing the waters. And then now, let's release a lot of cortisol and epinephrine by telling people they're going to be nuked. I mean, you wake up in the morning, you're like, what a beautiful day. Oh, I'm going to have a nuke. Maybe I better sip my last cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people don't need to be hearing that stuff.
No. And we got one more question for you, Ronnie. There is a statement being made in the chat room that's very, very true. The Lord hasn't given us the spirit of fear, but of love and power and a sound mind. So if the media keeps trying to, this is past the media now. We got people in the deep state that is actually trying to change the psyche of people to believe that President Trump is deranged and delusional and is forcing Kim Jong-un to push the button. And this is the psyche they're trying to do. They're bringing the spirit of fear. The Lord doesn't want us to have that. We got one more health question here for you, Ronnie. What about high blood pressure? Is there something you have that can help bring it down?
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, I said yes enough. Let's put it this way. We had a host or two or three that had high blood pressure. I don't like mentioning names unless they want to talk about it. And they took Allison Advanced, and their blood pressure is in the normal range. So how's that? Allison Advanced. And again, you're not just going to get blood pressure beauty. You're going to get immunity beauty. You're going to not have flus and colds. I mean, I can go on and on and on. This is just a beautiful, beautiful product. You only need to take one pill a day. And yes, you go, oh, it's a little pricey, because it's $62 for a bottle. But it's also a 2-month supply. So realize that. So you really, it's about $30 a month. And for $30 a month, you save on, you get to go to work every day because you feel good, and your blood pressure medicine gets pretty pricey. So, I'm not saying go see your doctor. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. But on the same token, you might want to, if you're on blood pressure medicine, monitor, ask your doctor, so on and so forth, because I am not a healthcare provider.
It's $1 a day. $1 a day can definitely make a difference. That's what that comes out to. One more question, Ronnie. There's a report out today that Kim Jong-un of North Korea, that they analyzed his speech on January 1st, and they said his voice, the way his voice would sound very weak. The doctors say he looks like someone in kidney failure. We know he's overweight. We know he's got toxins and different things here, but they can tell by just the sound of his voice, they believe he could be in a kidney failure situation. Not that he's ready to die tomorrow, but so if a guy like Kim Jong-un was to actually place an order at getthetea.com, what is it he needs to get?
He needs to get the tea. Actually, the tea helps with kidney and liver. So you have no idea, and it would take us another hour on air here to talk about what the tea does for you or what Allison does for you. It's mind-blowing. Try it for yourself. See what happens. It is, especially if you have an illness. If you have the illness, you have no idea how important the tea is for you. And again, it runs about $35 for a month's supply. And you have no idea what it's going to do for you. I mean, it is really, I have so many emails that come to me about how great the products are. And again, non-GMO, organic, and there's no fillers. So all the stuff's real.
Folks, Ronnie McMullen, getthetea.com. Check it out. Go to his website. Check out his entire website. Great, informative. He's got great products. And guess what? It could change your life. It could save your life as far as your health. Ronnie, thank you so much for being our guest today. We've had a great broadcast.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, no Satanism and no vaccineism.
Oh, man. See you guys next time. All right.